Now it's time to go with Sage, and I honestly gotta say the last two characters that we're missing, they are both probably more shaky characters. So yeah, I hope I can make it happen, get a nice victory. Um, my favorite build on Sage definitely gotta be a Jadestone build with lots of Jadestone daggers and the time stop item, or not the time stop, the full heal item. It basically, when you fall below health, it full heals you and cleanses all debuffs. But all your daggers will have stacked a lot of crit, so you just start from a better position than your opponent. So that's definitely my favorite build to go on her. My biggest gripe with her is and has always been that she's kind of like, her gun is like such a pivotal part, and if you just don't get items and upgrades for it, the game punishes you hard for it. So, and even if it's on a high level, you still need to invest so much backspace for it to just deal decent damage. So whenever I can, I mostly try to get a secondary weapon going that can actually carry the game in the long term. Let's see. That was not as smart. We definitely need these kind of upgrades. Let's move this up so we can upgrade it here. And what do we want to speed up? I think we have to do it. Not that happy with this. I guess we just speed up this and call it a day. Definitely want to get my dagger for jade daggers. Now that we have the bigger gun and immediately the upgrade to the next bigger gun, there is some satisfaction in that. And we're getting even more jade, which I'm very, very happy with. I think this is a more important target. We could get some strength, or we can actually also finish some quests from last time. I forgot to check those in. Yeah, might as well. What am I doing here? Getting myself dizzy. Let's get a sausage. It's gonna be good for our daggers. It's gonna be good for our arrows. So one thing I really learned is to not overvalue the arrow bag and really highly value the bolt bag. What do I mean with this is like this spawning bag here gives you basically a chance to get 1 gold most of the time. Like at a certain point you just reach the limit that you can with these arrows, right? But this green bag adds quality to your, so you basically get 1 shot more with your bolts. So this one always got to be filled, and this lighter colored one you don't necessarily need to keep filled. When it comes to these items, I'm a big fan of the Cursed Idol. Not many characters get access to this debuff, so I always look very much forward to getting it on the characters that can't usually, because they can't for a reason, because most of the time it's broken. And when we start to see skulls, we're gonna be even happier. We could even try and get it right away. It would need us to sell our broom, which I'm kind of starting to be a fan of. Perfect. Yeah, let's see if this Shana can deal with our barrage of crits. And she couldn't. Very nice. We still need the oil to upgrade our bolt thrower one last time. And I definitely want exactly this. A little bit of armor that can also serve as cleanse at the same time. I'm really wondering when they will nerf this item. I think the Hag's Head is way too strong. Oh, it's a crit against crit build. But I think our crit build is a little bit stronger. Don't have upgrades yet for our... I don't know what I'm talking about. Very happy to get another Jade Dagger though. Let's just get a thing here. Can we actually... Yeah, we can. But we wanted to have it the other way around because this doesn't actually tick, right? It just gives every second, so it doesn't really need to be sped up. But the more we speed up our skull, the higher we get the likelihood of the cleanse and inflict. Which also means we're still looking for more defense, definitely. And there's some more crit, which for the moment we could just use for yeah, not too happy with how this looks at the moment. Let me think. Because I definitely want to upgrade this round already. But I also kind of want to keep firing at full power. And I think the only way to do it is, just like I earlier said, not to harp on what I was saying, but to not overvalue this spot. And then we don't have space for the sausage. Well, we're never going to have space for the sausage. So let's just take this as a in-between round where we get our shield sorted. The shield is just going to help us to survive the stun builds, going to help us survive the burst builds. And since we already have cleanse, this is exactly what I wanted to see. This is the item I was talking about earlier. Both players cleanse all the debuffs, since we're not really applying debuffs other than bleed. Most of the time we're just going to win by out-critting everyone. And I want to put it on these weapons, since our Jade Daggers, they're going to keep getting crit with every hit. So when we basically reset the fight, our opponent is going to have to start fighting us from a disadvantaged position, which is exactly where we want him to be. My god, this bag is a mess. This looks a little bit better. So we can have a sausage bag. The sausage serves the same purpose. It especially is good with the Timeless Hourglass, because if we stack buffs and then we reset the game, then we start with all these buffs. And if our opponent does not stack buffs, then we're just from a very much better position than they come from. We could start upgrading the arrows to poison arrows, which I don't dislike. This is another good case of what we could do is an item that provides buffs in the long run. Gleaming Kunai is also kind of falls in the same category of is good with the reset, because you're starting to the amount of time it needs to be hit will shrink, and when you get the reset, then you get the big power boost. I definitely also want to buy this trigger. Running out of space, definitely. desperately need more backspace. But our build now is basically fully warped around the Timeless Hourglass. And now this game is probably going to be a good example. Nope. Our opponent just stacked way too much debuffs on us way too quickly. But yeah, we were in a weak position anyway because we were having a setup round. We're going to get every little piece of upgrade that we can. And we're also going to save this for next time. I think what we need more than anything now is just to upgrade our weapons and get more debuff creators. The more buff creators, I mean. The more buffs we have, the better the reset will be for us compared to our opponent. There is another dagger to be had, but I also kind of want to upgrade our katana. We still have one space later when we rebuild, so sure, why not? And let's get the sausage as well. Should be good enough. We haven't seen many skulls or stuff to upgrade our skulls, so our item is kind of bad at the moment. Yeah, but now our build starts to work a little bit how it should be, even against those strong Moros. Moros also really good at stacking buffs, so that's why it is not as strong against them as it would be against other characters maybe. And I think we reached the point where we have to consider a little bit of rebuilding if we want to keep fitting our stuff in. Which I definitely want to do. So let's see if we can just start with the small things. But I think we almost need to do a big rebuild here. I don't know if anyone enjoys these big rebuilds. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. And I think in this case it's time. Let's do a big rebuild. Because otherwise we're just gonna struggle. Okay, so I like to place the bags first, of course. Let's see, we're going to need actually we don't, we just keep this over here. Like I said, don't overvalue the bags. Put the crit one here. That might look a little bit weird, but this way we at least have everything in place so that we can put our daggers here. Actually, I would have loved to have this up here. Can we facilitate that? I think we can. Then daggers here. More weapons here. So we have a full Timeless Hourglass. And then we definitely would like to... Well, now I'm even more confused. So in the ideal world, we want to have it like this, correct? Because then we can do this. Because I still do want to have the repeater pointing at this. But that would mean we would have one less arrow. So maybe we have to say goodbye to the repeater, at least for the moment. Most important thing is right now is just to fill the board, right? And of course have our skulls ready to go. Sausage, sausage. Do you want to get another sausage? Why not? All the buffs that we can get. So now we have our little rebuild. Let's see how it performs. And it looks very strong. I don't think we need the flame. I also kind of want to keep my keep this one piece of jade for our gun rather than for another dagger, because if we get the gun upgrade, we're gonna be very happy. This still hits this. This can go like this now, and you can go into the very corner. We just need this little explosive thing, then we can upgrade the Titanwood repeater. And when we get the Titanwood repeater upgraded, it's gonna be much, much better for us. Oh, got defeated. Gotta make sure we keep increasing our power here. We should not buy this stuff. Yeah, maybe we need some earlier power. Actually, I like this dagger a lot more. A lot of Shanas. Those Shanas are, with their fire cloaks, are gonna be a big problem. They're gonna stack their fire too quickly on us. Very, very bad matchup for us. Because even if we cleanse it once, if we attack them with our 50,000 daggers, it's gonna be right back on them. I think we can say goodbye to that. Ooh, now this is interesting. I think we can afford it when we sell some stuff. Well, I like this here. And then we just swap here. So I think having the better skull is definitely gonna be a boon for us. And we're gonna keep adding more. I'm really considering maybe if we fall to 1 life, I'm gonna do a little bit more rebuilding just to get our repeater to shoot more. Let's see, it's a lot of debuffs. Yeah, our opponents are just stacking more buffs than we do. I hope this is not gonna be it. Okay, I guess since I don't want to lose my run here, I want to do a very small swap. Like this, because then we can have you stay in the same spot and at the same time get more attack speed, which I hope gonna fix some problems that this build has. The bat is very cheap, so let's get it. I think we can sell a sausage here. And yeah, I don't hate the burning water. The burning water is also going to facilitate a little bit of recovery. I don't like having this spot not used. Oh, we can actually flip this around. Flip this around. I think this is the strongest we can be for all intents and purposes. But I am really scared of Enoch. This might be the end of our run. Yeah, he got so much frost as he's gonna stack on us. I don't see us winning this. He got invulnerability. Oh, wow. Nice. Okay, the second time around, we managed to stack enough buffs. This could be an interesting piece if we can get it into a position where it targets our weapons. This is actually a good piece of insurance, but I think in this corner we should be able to replace something, right? Does this thing actually tick? It doesn't, right? So this is kind of a waste. I am very worried still. I don't think we are at our strongest at all. I mean, this one ticks us a lot as well. Plus we have more individual ticks that way. So maybe this way is smarter. Yeah, I'll keep this. And we're gonna pray again. Celestes are also really dangerous because their crits are just better than our crits. And we're still lacking in vulnerability, which all our opponents apparently bring. But it looks like we're healing more than she does. So end boss on 1 life. Couldn't write it better. I mean, it doesn't really matter much that we poison. Does it even make sense to add this anywhere? I don't think so. So we could actually just sell this. This is 2. These should also be 2, right? So it's 6. So I have 9 gold left. I got 9 gold left. And if I sell this, I got 11. Okay. So that will enable us to buy this expensive scarab. Which should, if everything goes correctly, be a little bit of a buffer / debuff enabler. So the last fight is a Chana. And we already established that fire builds are kind of our bane. So let's see if a lot of cleanse. We love to see it. Cleanse is not really something we're scared of. What we're mostly scared of is a lot of fire. I think she's stacking debuffs harder than... Oh my god, that was so close. Holy, that was so close. Let's check the stats here. Our Titan Wood Repeater did absolute overtime work. Our Burning Water was a really good investment, I think. Gaining us a lot of regeneration, which helped us stay in the fight longer. And our opponent probably applied a lot of burn, huh? Yeah, the burn. Who gave us burn here? The fire vortex. Yes, such a good item. Can we see how the final buffs and debuffs? So we didn't even stack that many buffs, huh? But I think all our Jade Daggers have quite the high crit chance. And of course, the Zephyr's Edge also got reset quite a bit. 1.35 seconds cooldown. I think it was really important that we added the auto trigger for this build. Incredible. We managed to secure another one. I even almost got upgraded into Masters with Sage. Well, there's only one character that's missing. There she is, Celeste. The last roadblock. Kind of a tough character in my opinion. Yeah, we will see if I can manage to get the 15 wins on every character in a row again. Now added with Moro, Celeste being our final boss after this very, very close Sage win. Thank you so much for watching. I mean, my blood is still pumping. See you guys next time, hopefully for the last time, crushing Celeste. Bye.